Ain't that just so cute? But class is in session. Since you want to learn something, today I'll teach you how I do my potatoes. Last year I got about 5 to 10 pounds out of each of these tires. Some of y'all asked me in the comments, what are the tires for? I use those to retain the dirt and mulch for my potatoes to grow. So I grow mine in stages. So as you can see, they are at the bottom layer of the tire. So as it grows, I start to add dirt, straw, mulch, basically to where the plant looks like a baby plant again. And then I do the same thing over and over until, I can no longer add dirt into that tire. So what we're gonna need is, of course, your potatoes. My potatoes actually started off pretty slow this year, just because our weather was weird in Virginia. But as you can see, they're doing pretty darn good. So after you get your potatoes, you're gonna need you a little bit of straw, then some mulch. Now with the chicken manure, you really don't need a lot, and you have to be careful because chicken manure is a hot manure, meaning, it's potent, but it can actually kill your plant if you put it, too close to the stem rooting system, if it's not decomposed and broke down good enough. At the bottom is the stuff I like to use. When you start to toss it, you can kind of smell, in the words of Mr. Krabs,
the kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells smelly.
It just has like a chemical smell to it. That's how you know it's still hot. It's potent. It smells like manure you would get from the store, but it's not. It's organic. It's straight from your chickens. But this is how you know that you're good. When you start seeing any type of, bug that's in there breaking this down for you, that's what you want. That's how you know this is a good stage of your chicken manure. But still, you have to be careful. So this will be what I use for each tire that I have down there.
What you doing, little cat? What you doing, little kitty cat?
Everything is really dry here this week. And, it's been pretty toasty, almost in the 90s. So I'm just gonna saturate everything, get everything nice and moist, and then we'll get started. First step I want to do is put this straw in here. Just make probably an inch, half an inch to an inch layer around, the base of this plant. So last year I used a very potent fish fertilizer, 2020, and they loved it. I think that's why I got so many potatoes. But this year, like I said, I'm using chicken manure because that's free. 2020 is like $26 a bag. This is free 99. Well, kind of, because you have to pay for the chickens to eat, blase blase. Anyway, now that this is around the base of the plant, what we're going to do is sprinkle this chicken manure around this plant. I'm going to stay on the outside just because I don't want it up on the system of this, just so we can make sure it's not burnt, and it'll basically filter through this before it gets to her roots. That's why I'm doing that. And then after we put that that layer of chicken manure in, we'll cover this up with dirt. Should be about right here on her, and we'll let her grow up and repeat it again. And we'll do that all the way until the dirt is up here, and then we'll leave her alone. Just let her do her thing. We got the chicken nuki in. Now we're gonna go ahead and put some of this good old dirt on her. Do one more, and then we'll cover up with mulch, and this one will be good to go. So it goes from looking like that to that, and then we'll put the mulch on her. She'll be good. So we're just going to repeat that same process all the way down, and then we're good. X Games, man. All right, y'all, so we good to go. Everything's situated. Now we got about an hour to water everything in. I'm hoping that it's gonna rain this weekend. They're saying there's chances of thunderstorms, but how the weatherman be doing nowadays. But honestly, that's why I wanted to get in here and do that to my potatoes today. That way that rainwater get in here and really, get those roots nice and activated with that chicken manure on them. I wanted to go and, weed all this and put mulch on that, but I'm just gonna wait, and hopefully, we can get that rain this weekend, and then hopefully next weekend I don't have to bother anything until then, and then I'll start going in here weeding those and putting mulch on top of that and see what these watermelons are gonna do. and then, you know, what comes up and what doesn't come up, and then we can go from there. But, you know, the first part of the garden, we locked in, we good to go. With that being said, I'm about to go ahead and water this garden. I want to get me something to eat, give me a nice good old night's rest, and we'll be back out here tomorrow. And then I'm going to see that movie Sinners, you know, so be waiting for a spirit talk with that one coming soon. Hopefully I'll do it this weekend, but if not, be expecting that sometime next week. Y'all be easy. Get all that there chicken, bye. Hazel really is fascinated with those chickens this year. She's not even really doing anything to them. She just literally goes over there and watches them. That is an interesting ass cat. Ain't lying. She does it every day. Every day since they've been out here. She goes over there and she'll watch them for like 10, 15 minutes. She'll literally lay there or anything. Interesting cat, boy. Ain't lying.